Alright, what's good everybody? Today we're going to be doing a new what if. And if you couldn't tell, I am super excited for this one. Because it's about my favorite, my baby boy. My lost son. Hiccup. He is by far my favorite character in any cartoon. Like in anime, okay, like anime for teenagers or like kids, hands down, it's Izuku, hands down. Raise it up a little bit, definitely Guts. But favorite character all time is my boy Hiccup, because I love him. He was I'm gonna be honest with you, the first cartoon I ever watched. And I'm not talking like Power Rangers and crap. I'm talking like actual factual like animation picture. Was the first How to Train Your Dragon movie. And it just made me feel some type of way. I don't like Hiccup like that. It's just I just loved the series. It was so good. It was weird. I was like 10, so I don't know. Anyway, so in this, Hiccup did exist. You know, he kind of did. So did Astrid. Well, everyone in the How to Train Your Dragon universe, dead. You know. Now, they're gonna be reincarnated into Izuku's era. Now, I'm gonna give Snotlout Spirit to Bakugo. Oh God, who would be two people that fight a lot? I'm gonna just make Astrid have her own thing. You know, she's just Astrid. Astrid's a boss. You can't do that to Astrid. If you do that, you're not a How to Train Your Dragon person. Also, I am really sorry about the audio quality. I don't know why it's like doing that weird like staticky crap. I don't get it. Could it be because of my shirt? Could it be because of the microphone? Who knows? Who cares? Anyway, so when Midoriya was born, when he first opened his eyes, you know, the ground started shaking, the skies started turning black with blue lightning, all of the animals were going crazy. Now, if you don't know, you're probably thinking, whoa, this is already turning to 11. It's about to get cranked up to 10,002. Bet. Okay, I really am sorry. I'm just so excited for two reasons. One, like I said, I love How to Train Your Dragon. It's like my favorite. I'm sorry. I'm gonna calm down. I really am. I'm just so excited to make this. Like, I legit, before I started this, I had like 7 bottles of like Coke and stuff. Coca-Cola. No sponsor. Also, Kira Show commented on one of my videos. I'm shooketh. I didn't know he watched. Oh crap. You know, this actually makes me like really nervous. Because, I don't know, it just really does. It really does. Okay. I've also done a little bit more research. There are some dragons that I'm not going to add. The green and red, or, you know, the deaths in the first movie, yeah, they're not going to be there. The Bewilder Beasts, there's like 4 or 5 of them. Draco's died. Toothless is still alive. So is the Light Fury. Stormfly, Hookfang, Meatleg, or is it Meatleg? I think it's Meatleg. Barf, Belch, and Skullcrusher. Now you may be wondering, wait, who's gonna get Skullcrusher? Well, see, don't worry about it. I'll figure it out as I go along. Maybe not Skullcrusher. But Izuku, he is going to be doing some craziness. So now you may be also wondering, why did the ground start shaking and like the clouds go crazy and all the animals? That's Izuku's quirk. He is literally called, his quirk is literally alpha. That's what it is. When his quirk awakens, when it awakened, it scared all the animals because they felt this just like, you will bow before the king, the alpha, the titan wing. Oh, that's such a fire name. I'm sorry, I'm excited. I'm gonna calm down. I'm sorry. Again, I really am. I'm just excited and I want to get this done and out. Okay. Let's do this. So, everything goes according to canon. Izuku, he really hasn't, he's trained with his ability, but he hasn't used it. He's used it on like big animals like elephants and rhinos. And like people with quirks that when they activate them, they turn into like really big animals. It also works on weak-willed people. So like the people at the USJ, he was just like, bow before your alpha. Also, his voice does get a little deeper when he uses it, and his eyes light up green. Now, a little thing that does happen is the back of his throat lights up green too. But no one really knows why. Now, no, he's not going to be able to breathe fire, but he's going to be able to do something else really cool. Anyway. Sorry, I'm getting off topic. So when Midoriya, I'm going to say, it's been a few years. He's met, no, wait, it's about to be their second year. He and Astrid are really close, but she, Astrid in How to Train Your Dragon canon is Tsundere. Which she kinda is, but kinda isn't. She's like, I don't know, she's like a BA Tsundere. If you know what I mean. Anyway, I'm sorry. She likes him, but, she's trying not to show it. All the girls and all the guys know it. Baku's like, dang it. How did he get so lucky? Rough Nut and Tough Nut are probably, Tough Nut is probably going to be, Kirishima, and Rough Nut, yeah, screw it. No. I was about to say Mina. That. Would it? Technically? This is a question, and now my head hurts. I was just about to say, and Rough Nut will be incarnated into Mina, but wouldn't that mean they're brother and sister, technically? But they're not related by blood, like, at all. They're from two different family lines. They have the spirits of brother and sisters, like, inhabiting them. Well, not really inhabiting them. They, like, have a little bit of influence. And they're just not going to get together. I'm not doing that. That's a hole I'm not going to go down. My head already hurts. Anyway. Oh, yeah. And Fish Legs will be... Who's a really good analyst? Besides... I think his name is Aoyama? Yeah, the guy with the laser belly button thing that he has to use a stupid support belt for. Yeah, him. Basically, all the ones that I gave the spirits to, their quirks stay exactly the same. They just have a little bit of their, the other one's personality. Which, I mean, Snell and Bakugo, there's really no difference. Ow, I don't know what came over me. Jeez, I was about to get lit up in the comments. Thank the Lord for that cough. Anyway. And I'm just gonna say Astrid's quirk is Valkyrie. Basically, she can create weapons and armor, you know. She can't do wings, but, you know, weapons and armor. Like a boss. Anyway. So, for Midoriya's, you know, 18th birthday. Also, the sports festival happens way later, so I can get Izuku going on his powers. So, I'm gonna say they have, like, since the USJ attack, they postponed it for, like, a year. Now, I know you're like, dude, that's, like, stupidly long. Please just let me have this. Don't ruin this for me. Come on, this is my favorite. It's my favorite movie of all time. Just please let me have this. Please. I'm begging you. Just let me have this. So they postponed it for a year. It was Izuku's birthday, and everyone forgot because they were busy training. Their absolute butts off. So his mom and him go to Norway. Why Norway? Because Izuku's like, you know, I kind of want to go to Norway. You know, he said this by accident. He was like, where did that come from? You know, little does he know he has a bit of hiccup. You know, he has a bit of Hiccup's personality. By a bit, I mean quite a lot. Now, you can't fault me for saying Hiccup and Izuku are really, really alike. Like, if you put them in the same room, they would go on for hours and hours learning about each other's cultures and everything. You wouldn't be able to separate the two after that. not even capping. Anyway, I'm sorry, I keep getting off track. I'm gonna chugga choo this all the way. That's another reason Izuku and Astrid are gonna hook up, because I want to. And their spirits are intertwined. Just don't worry about it. Anyway. So, you know, Midoriya tells Astrid, you know, he gets his whole class on a Zoom call. I don't know why I said that. You know, he hits up all his classmates in a group chat or something. You know, like I said, with like a Zoom call maybe. Like, hey, guys, I'm going to Norway for a few months. I won't be able to talk for a little while, so if you need anything, just don't get yourself in any trouble. Baku sends a picture of him blowing up a nursing home. Everyone screams, Bakugo, no! Bakugo, chill, it's just edited. That he says, Bakugo, 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 oi, oi, oi. Oh my god. I just ruined this. I just ruined this. And Bakugo's like, why did I say that? This is actual pain. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna keep going. Anyway, Midoriya, you know, when he gets to Norway, you know, his quirk, no, his body gets taken over. Not really taken over, but he feels like he's super drawn to an area. You know, he's trying to piece together what's going on. And while he's doing that, you know, One For All and Alpha are working, you know, his quirk. I'm gonna call it Superior or something. I don't know. You tell me a name in the comments. Are, you know, allowing him to float down into the hidden world. Now, if you may be wondering, wait, what's the hidden world? Go watch How to Train Your Dragon. If you already know, you can stick around. And if you don't know, and you don't want to watch the movie, basically, Hiccup realizes that if they have dragons, people are always going to be coming for their dragons. So he tells Toothless, who became the Alpha, to bring them to safety, aka the hidden world, where dragons originated from, before they got forced out by one of the older Alphas. And then, you know, the events of How to Train Your Dragon, yeah. Anyway, the way he got over there so fast is because One For All, you know, forcibly triggered his body to move forward while making it to where his consciousness didn't realize where he was. you know, as he was floating down, you know, he opened his eyes and he was like, whoa, where am I? You know, a bunch of dragons, like, get into, like, attacking positions, and then, you know, Toothless appears, like, you know, he's like, stop! He's like, stop. Also, the came from, like, the sound of his voice. Toothless immediately stopped, looked at him, tilted his head, and was like, you know, he got on, you know, he raised himself up on all fours, shot out, you know, made his wings expand really wide. Also, I'm about to do something stupid. So, Toothless, no, the hidden world time moves slower than Earth time. So technically, Toothless and Izuku are the same age. Because I'm gonna make it so. Now, also, the thing about Izuku's quirk is, too, that, I'm sorry, I keep getting off track. When he, you know, takes control of an animal, or, you know, becomes its alpha, it dominates its will, I guess you could say, or becomes its partner, I guess, I don't know, his ability gets stronger. He only does requests most of the time, but, you know, if it's a dire circumstance, he will order them around using his quirk. But it does get progressively, it did get, before One For All, it did get a little bit stronger with every time he used it. After One For All, good luck. Good luck. Good luck. Anyway, that's why he's able to dominate people with weaker wills instead of just animals. Because the more things he dominates, I guess, the stronger he becomes. Anyway, when Midoriya, you know, saw Toothless start glowing blue, he's like, whoa. You know, he starts walking around Toothless. Toothless is like looking at him, like. Also, Toothless realized he's glowing green, so Toothless is looking at him weird too. You know, they're walking around each other. You know, Izuku goes, rah! You know, Toothless does it back, but, you know, significantly louder. He's like, oh, you're the alpha. You know, in his head, he's like, One For All. Also, yeah, because he's, you know, has oh my god, Hiccup's spirit in him, he was able to learn how to use full cowling at, like, quadruple the speed. So he's able to use, like, 20% maximum right now. He's like, full cowling, 20%. Now, what this does is it expands, you know, the glow down Izuku's back into, like, into his shoulders. And, you know, down, and, you know, it starts to go down his arms, but then it slowly stops. You know, and his eyes go a bit, no, yeah, they go a bit bluer down to the bottom, you know, the top of his neck, right where you can see into his mouth goes blue. So basically, from the base of his neck down to, like, his, right above his elbows are green, and all the way down to, like, his, you know, his tailbone is glowing green. And when he uses One For All with it as well, his eyes glow blue, and, you know, the inside of his mouth. And getting that out of the way, Toothless is like, oh? So, you're a human, but an alpha? You know, Toothless is really confused. Izuku walks over, you know, he holds out his hand, he holds out his hand like, he's about to give him, like, scratches. And then, Toothless backs up a little, nudges his hand, and puts it on his face. Izuku then feels really, really weird. Because I'm gonna say, Toothless realized that that's not just some random dude. That's my best friend. That's Hiccup. So, once they touched, Toothless started bouncing up and down and tackled Izuku, started licking his face, and Izuku's like, chill, Toothless. He's like, ugh, Toothless. Is that your name? How do I know your name? What's going on? My quirks are acting weird today. And then he realized, like, pretty much his entire body is glowing blue. He's like, okay, this is weird. Now, you may be wondering, like, what? Why is he glowing blue? Like, why is he full blue? To answer, he is now a Titan Wing. Now, if you don't know, Titan Wings are an Alpha Series dragon, or they're able to challenge the Alphas. So that's how Hiccup's mom is Wildebeest, and Draco's Wildebeest. When they fought, and Hiccup's mom's Wildebeest lost, Draco's Wildebeest was able to control the dragons. Basically, it's like a wolf pack, to put it in layman's terms. So Izuku, he is now the alpha. Toothless bows, all the dragons, Toothless bows, and all the he sees all the dragons walking up to him, and then bowing, and then Toothless picks him up, throws him on his back, and brings him to, like, the center of the, the hidden world, where there's a chest. Now, in this chest is Hiccup's old stuff, which, if you don't remember, like I said, time moves slower in the hidden world. What do you think that means? Hiccup's stuff is still operational. And even if they're not, there's blueprints in there, and Izuku can, his intelligence is, like, really, really high. Like, you put Izuku and Hiccup's intelligence together, you'd probably have, like, Nezu. I don't know how that works, just roll with it. I'm tired. Currently, it's like 1 a.m., 1:18, so, like, chill, please, forgive me. Anyway, I keep getting off topic. So, when Midoriya, saw this stuff, he decided to put it on, and when he did, he was like, man, this stuff feels cool, He pressed a button on the side, which caused, the faceplate to shut. He's like, I could modify this to make this modern. This would look so cool if I modernized it, So it's it looks like Hiccup's gear from the third movie, but after Izuku's done with it, yeah, it's about to look fresh. He also picked up the sword. He's like, whoa, this stuff is cool. He figured out how it all works. And a bunch of other, he found Toothless's old saddle. And Toothless, nudged him. And he put it on to Toothless. And then, he felt like he wanted to rub, like, the behind the skull of Toothless. And when he did, the flaps popped out. And Toothless started jumping around, opening and shutting them. And then Izuku, now this may seem kind of cruel, but remember, this is what Toothless wants. Toothless took off the old tail that Hiccup made him so he could fly on his own, and let Izuku put on the new tail, which now, had the symbol of the Night Fury. He's like, you will be, he also noticed there's a book, and it's like a really thick book. He starts flipping through the pages, and he looks around, and he sees some of the dragons in the book. Some of the creatures in the book match up with the dragons. So he's like, so every dragon that was ever found was recorded in this book. Oh baby, there's a lot of dragons there. So when Izuku shut the book, Toothless started nudging him to the front where all the dragons could see him. Izuku was like, so what do I do now? Toothless, did like a quick, like, raise your wings or whatever thing. Izuku waved his hands into the air, pretty much like throwing them into the air, and all the dragons started, being like, whoa, yeah, new alpha. Now, Toothless wasn't a bad alpha, it's just he wouldn't let them go back into the normal world, so they're hoping that this one will. So Izuku's like, okay, this place is fire, but what am I gonna do? And then you hear Skrill noises intensify. I honestly don't know what noises a Skrill makes. And then you see a Skrill come, flying towards Midoriya, who, battle instincts, because Quirk, don't question it, grabs this Skrill by the face as he gets pushed back a little bit, closes the mouth, and then immediately the faceplate closes because Black Whip. Yeah, he unlocked Float, Black Whip, and, he has his normal quirk, so that's, yeah, once it closed, Izuku slammed the Skrill's face into the ground. Then he said, he used Black Whip to make the mask retract and said, bow. Now, no alpha has done this before. Not even Draco could, Draco, the guy who caused Hiccup's mom to disappear, not even Draco or any of the alphas could control a Skrill. The Skrill starts thrashing, trying to generate lightning, and he's like, while he's holding its face to the ground, he's like, bow. His eyes are starting to glow green. He's slowly cranking it up until, he notices how high it'll take him. The Skrill's still fighting. He says, bow! Skrill, still putting up a little bit of a fight. He's like, bow to the alpha. Now, when this happened, Izuku's whole body was blue, but his eyes were glowing red. He has a new stage of alpha because his quirk. When he, did the alpha thing to the dragons, that gave him a massive power boost. And then the Skrill immediately closed its wings, got up and then bowed. And then went to join the other dragons. And I'm gonna say there were a bunch of other Skrills hiding. And once they saw this, they immediately flew down and then bowed to the alpha. And he's like, oh, my throat is killing me. We got some water. Toothless is like, Toothless shakes his head and then immediately flies off and brings him back a glass of water. No, don't ask how it works. It just, what happens is he's like, thanks. And Izuku drinks it and he's like, man, that's much better. Alright, so, how many of are you? How many dragons are there down here? Oh boy. Well, let's start counting. Now, after a really long counting and naming all of the dragons, while also, taking care of any ones that were injured, or if a fight started to break out, taking care of the fight and doing all that good jazz, while also upgrading his tech to where the suit would fit in, I don't want to say a backpack, but I also don't want to say a hoodie. I mean, why not a hoodie? Nah. What would it be able to fit in? What does he wear a lot? I don't know. Screw it. I'm gonna say he made it to where, the gloves are retractable, the feet are retractable, and the helmet is like fully retractable into the suit. So when he's wearing like his normal clothes, no one can tell until, he presses a button on his shoulder. Like where his heart is, there's a button. If he presses it, the suit starts expanding. Because magic and dragon powers, just don't question it. Anyway, so Izuku was like, okay, after that long headache, how many days I've been down here? He's also learned how to understand what the dragons say. So what normal people would hear was like, or like something like that. I don't know, dragon noises. And what Izuku would hear, like, I don't know, for down here a few days is up there a few days is about like an hour down here. So if you've been here a few hours, that means it's been a few days. So yeah, it's been a bit. Izuku's like, crap, oh crap, my mom's gonna be so worried. He's like, Tooth is like, well, why can't we go see her? He's like, you're a dragon, dude. Everyone would freak out. No one's even heard of, most people don't even believe dragons exist. If they found out you existed, they'd capture you and do like a bunch of experiments. Tooth was like, but what if they didn't? Izuku's like, what do you mean, what if they didn't? They would totally find you. I'm a night fury. My job is silence. Anyway, come on, up on my back. So Izuku's like, alright, listen, Izuku gets to the platform. Also, the Hidden Earth mostly is in, the Norway area. So it's like really crowded for the dragons. The only place they can put their dead is, in a literal magma pit. Izuku's like, well, I mean, that isn't all that bad, but, still. Most dragons do live forever, though, so that means it does get really crowded. Anyway, somebody was like, listen, if you guys really want to help me, expand this all around the world. So when you hear the alphas call, when you hear me call your name, you can just, come out of the ground and be like, what's up, I'ma help. Basically, that's what they do. They start expanding. Even the Skrulls are helping because Izuku controls all dragons. Been waiting all episode to say that. Feel good. Feeling good. So, when Izuku, when he finally gets out, he rides Toothless. Not that way. He gets onto Toothless's back, rides above the clouds, and then says, "Alright, Toothless, you can keep an eye on me from up here?" He's like, "I can always sense the Alpha's presence. Any dragon can." He's like, "Okay then. I'm gonna need you to stay up here. You can land on really high places, just don't get seen." So, Izuku then presses the button. His clothes, I'm gonna say he used, I don't know, some kind of dragon metal scale hybrid. That when it wraps around his clothing and stuff. So it'll, go outside of his body, then wrap around it, creating the armor. So when Izuku jumped off, oh yeah, Toothless is able to fly by himself. Izuku just presses a button to where a little thing would pop out and attach to the other side, making it, even, to where he'd be able to fly better. So at this point, Izuku has pretty much figured out how everything works. So when he jumps off, he activates the glider, he flies down. I need to look out my door hole because I heard scary noises. Alright, it's whatever. I'm good. I'm gonna shut my door hole though. Anyway, when Midoriya finally landed, it had been a few days. Now he's only staying there a month, but his mom's freaking out. He's like, "Mom, I'm sorry, my quirk malfunctioned. I got carried somewhere and it took me forever to get back. I made this to help me get back because my quirk wasn't working right, and it evolved and a bunch of other stuff happened and it scared me and I don't know what to do. I'm sorry." And she buys it. I'm sorry. She does, okay? I know, it's stupid. But, come on, it's the only way I'm gonna make the story progress. So, like I said, the dragons work incredibly quickly. So by the time they get back to Japan, they had already, made the hidden world wrap around the Earth. Now, the reason that humans hadn't, drilled into the hidden world yet is because I can't remember the name of the dragon, but there is a dragon that can manipulate people's, minds and crap to make them turn around and be like, it's a hazardous area to mine here. Or they just build it really far underground, and if the humans do get in, the dragons are the same. Anyway, yeah, it was stupidly far underground. Anyway, so when he gets back to Japan, he's like, "Man, that was a long trip. Can't say it wasn't eventful. It was fun. Can't wait to see those guys again." Toothless and them. Izuku's thinking this, he doesn't say it out loud. And none of the dragons feel this because he isn't using his alpha powers, but they can still sense his location. So Izuku, he gets into class. He gets into class a little late because, he was tired, so he went to bed. And he just, he stayed in bed a little too late or whatever. So when he opens the door, he's like, "Yo, what's good, class 1A? What's up, what's up?" Everyone's like, "What happened to Izuku? Who are you?" He's like, "What do you mean? I'm Izuku." He's like, "Okay, but what happened to that stutter?" He's like, "Oh yeah, my quirk left me stranded on an island for almost a month. or something. So I made a new suit out of some materials I found, and then I improved upon it, and then I fought sharks and crap. It was a long, long month. And after that, it wasn't even, wait a minute, I said that year. Dude, he was down in the hidden world for a few days, and then he was gone for a few months. Well, not a few months. Yeah, sure. They were staying there for a few months to visit some family and, hopefully let Izuku train, because there's not a lot around Norway, I don't think. So, Midoriya is like, I disappeared for a few months because I got my quirk malfunction and launched me to an island. After which I had to survive until I managed to get back. So, yeah, it was a pretty eventful year. So, now it's time for the sports festival. Now, I know what you're thinking. Dude, I understand. Now, some of you may be like, why did you do that? Character building, world building. Just so people know how broken Izuku, like I said, character building, and I can't come up with any more reasons. I just about had a heart attack. Dear God. Okay, I'm really tired. Anyway, so Midoriya, it's time for not the USJ, it's time for the sports festival. Now, Izuku did get top scores because when he was able to go into the entrance exam, he could use about 10%. Now he's able to use about 50. Anyway, Izuku's like, I've been on an island by myself for a few months now. I'm really tired, so I'm gonna just say this. I am going to win. He starts up his alpha quirk. All the dragons feel this. He's like, like 2% power. Which is more than enough to, like, screw with people with, like, really weak wills. It's not, like, full control. It's like, like, you better do it, or you're, it's more like a suggestion, but, you can feel the aura. No, it's just like you can feel the aura that Izuku puts off, and he's like, alright, listen, I'm going to win. If you want to lose, you can stay. But I found something on that island that I think is going to be fun. If I'm allowed to use them. Am I? He looks at Aizawa. Aizawa's like, sure, kid. Do what you want. Cool. He turns off his quirk. Everyone's like, holy crap, what was that aura? So, yeah, you're screwed. Izuku, then, it's time for the running match. Izuku, he instantly uses 50%, wins, and for the cavalry battle, he calls Astrid, Kirishima and Mina, because they're friends, and that's the maximum you can have on a team, so, yeah. Team Bakugo is just a little bit different. Besides that, everything's the same. Anyway, when Midoriya, Midoriya's team wins, they stay with 100 points. Midoriya's first fight was Shinso. Midoriya's, Shinso's, so what was that power you showed? Izuku's eyes glow, go green, glow green, which is like stage 1 out of like 10. 10 being like red eyes, red throat, blue body. Which is only like, also, when he does the blue body, like spikes, I guess, no, when he's wearing his armor, spikes will shoot out to show the blue, but when he's not, you can kind of see, like, little spikes pop out, just a little bit. And he's like, no, that's none of your concern. They both say at the same time, walk out of the ring. Shinzo immediately is like, Shinzo's like, what'd you do to me? Let me go. He's like, your quirk is brainwashing. Mine is literally alpha. Your quirk doesn't... If you can brainwash, then I have mind control. Basically, what he's saying is, you ain't crap to me. I am hundreds of times stronger than you will ever be. Now, he doesn't mean it in, like, to be mean. He's just like, try harder. Try harder next time. Maybe you get a little clout. I can't believe I just said that. Oh my god, I'm a monster. Anyway. So, Shinzo walks out of the ring. He's like... Izuku turns off his eyes. And, Shinzo gets full control of his body back. He's like, you are evil. An earth spike shoots out of the ground. Izuku's like, ugh, you had to try it. Put it down. You hear, like, rattling. And he's like, no buts, down. And then the spike, flattens back out. And he's, everyone's like, what was that? He's like, don't worry about it. We're good. I'm gonna go take a nap. Astrid's like, so what was that, Midoriya? And he's like, oh yeah, I picked up a new trick. Hopefully I don't have to fight you. I'd hate to use it. She's like, I hope so, because I want to. He's like, well, you're gonna get your wish. Look at the TV. They're going up next. And then it's Izuku and Todoroki. But we're gonna just skip over the Todoroki fight. No, we're not. We're gonna do the Astrid fight, the Todoroki fight, then the Bakugo fight. Because Izuku is gonna win all 3. So Izuku, also, they did let more people in to the thing, because why not? So Izuku, immediately, when he gets onto the stage, he's like, listen, Astrid, I don't want to hurt you. Just please walk out of the ring. I'm being polite here. And she's like, good luck with that. He's like, fine, I won't use my quirk on you. She's like, huh? Yeah, I'm handicapping myself. I'm not gonna use my quirk on you or anybody in this ring, in our little square. Heck, I'm not gonna use my quirk. I'm not gonna use my strength enhancement either. She's like, your funeral. And he says, 1 second. Who then says, Ryu no Kage. Or is it Ryu? Yeah, I don't know. Ryu no Kage. And then, the skies instantly start turning black. And he said it, when he said it, his eyes were closed, but you could see, the blue shining through. And you notice that most of his body was glowing. Not really glowing green. It's like a light shade of green, so you can barely tell. he doesn't look like a human glow stick, is all I'm trying to say. You know, then, while the lightning's appearing, some people will, hear, like, a really loud screech. And then they see a lightning bolt hit the ring, aiming at Astrid. Astrid's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Nothing. I'm holding up to my promise. I'm not attacking you." She's like, "So what are you doing?" Letting him do the work. Surrender, or the next 100 volts aren't gonna miss. She's like, "Bring it on." She creates a sword. No, she creates multiple swords and then throws them into the ground, creating like lightning rods. And he was like, "Smart. But, my friend don't miss." Ryu doesn't miss. Right as he says that, a lightning bolt shoots straight towards Astrid. Not even the swords are going to be able to redirect it. So Astrid creates a shield, the shield gets hit, she gets sent back. Like, almost out of the ring. He's like, the next one's going through that shield, Astrid. Please, I don't want to hurt you, just walk out the ring. She's like, "No, I have my pride on the line." He's like, which basically he spoke in dragon tongue, and she was like, "What did you just say?" He's like, "Why are you so stubborn? I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to hurt your pride either, but I also don't want to lose." Alright. Tell you what. If you walk out of that ring, after this whole event, I'll tell you how I'm able to do this. She's like, "Huh? I'll even give you a demonstration. Just, please, walk out of the ring." He's still glowing a little bit. He's like, "Or I swear, the next bolt won't miss." He gets his fingers into like a snapping position. He ain't about a Thanos snapper, no. He's about to, order the Skrill, which if you didn't know what's going on, yeah, it's the Skrill attacking her with lightning from the clouds. Yeah. She's like, "Fine, I give." She drops her shield, her armor disappears, revealing her like the UA uniform. And he's like, "Cool. Come here." She's like, "Huh?" He picks her up bridal style and he's like, "Well, come on." He jumps up and he lands into the stance. He's like, "Now you sit and watch." He jumps back into the arena. He's like, "Listen, I'm just gonna make this completely fair. Send everyone else at me." President Mike's like, "Huh? What's going on? Aizawa, please explain." "I don't even know. What do you mean, problem child?" "Everyone that is left in the sports festival that is still able to compete, send them at me. All at once. I want to get this done." "Is it because the promise you just made?" "Yes. Now, are you gonna listen, or am I gonna have to get my buddy to start zapping people?" I'd really hate to do that. As I was like, "I like your moxie." "Sure. All remaining contestants, if you can..." Don't do that. Yeah, don't do that. Bad. if you can get Izuku Midoriya unconscious or out of the ring, you will win the sports festival. He's like, finally, something interesting. You know, hold on. 1 second. Koryo Noryu. Something like that. I'm sorry. For the first one, he said Shadow of the Thunderstorm. This one is just Ice Dragon. Basically, he's saying it in, Japanese. But I'm gonna say, the way he's saying it, people are confused. He's just saying it in a weird way or something. I don't know. Anyway, so then, the ground, cracks open, and a bunch of, mist is released, and then a baby bewilderbeast. Now, what I mean by baby is, 3 All Mights tall, went on all fours, and 10 All Mights from tail to head. No, tail to tusks. Maybe 5 or 6 All Mights big. I don't know, man. Ow. Then Midoriya is like, this is my friend. Freeze. He snaps his fingers, and then, the dragon starts breathing ice, and freezes all of the remaining contestants. Izuku wins the sports festival, and he's like, alright, go on, back to the hidden world. The dragon's like, go now. He's like, okay. The dragon goes back into the, crawls back into the hole. Then, the hole seals shut. Aizawa was like, what was that, Izuku Midoriya? A dragon. Pay attention. Oh my god. These people are idiots. They really are idiots. Okay. Astrid. He jumps over to Astrid and he's like, come on. You're coming with me. He picks her up again. And he's like, he whistles in a way to where there's his mouth glows and people can see it's blue. And then they just hear something like that, what the Night Fury noise is. And then they just see Izuku jump and then disappear. And then a black blur shooting back up into the clouds. And then, the Skrill is like, I'm gonna deactivate my powers and then dip. Which he does. And then, the lightning storm, which had already started dissipating, completely disappeared. Izuku's like, this is Toothless. He is my favorite dragon. Toothless is like, ah. Skrill's like, hey, that's so mean. He's like, calm down, you're my favorite too. All of you are my favorites. Toothless is the one that didn't try to kill me on sight. Also, if you didn't realize, the Skrill, what if you didn't notice, or you didn't know, whatever, basically, the Skrill that Izuku was using was the same one that attacked him, that he dominated, or whatever. So, he's like, fair. So, then he's like, Astrid's like, how were you able to speak to them? And he's like, well, the few months I was gone was actually a few days. And we went to the overworld, to the above world, and I learned how to talk to them through my quirks. Trust me, it's really complicated, and I don't want to get into it. Just know, I am the alpha of these guys. They are allowed to do what they want. It's just if I want to, they have to listen to me. They don't really have a choice. Although I don't use my power on them as much, as much as I should. None of them mess with me. And just like you saw, if someone tries to sneak attack me, the dragons will protect their alpha. And they're like, so that giant ice one made that rock wall. No, that was a spitting death. Izuku's immediately like, no, Astrid's immediately like, spitting death? Well, that's what the book called it, and honestly, I don't feel like renaming them. I've already named like over 100 of them, maybe even 100,000. And I don't feel like renaming an entire species of dragons. Basically, they're dragons that dig tunnels and can, mess with the earth. And this is a Night Fury, basically very good at night attacks, is very good at hiding, shoots plasma. That over there is a Skrill. It's Lightning Dragon. Doesn't like being ridden by other people. He lets me ride him because I, could have taken his head off at any point. And, hey, where's, Cloud Jumper? And he is going to use some of the original names from the movies and the shows for the dragons. Toothless is like, I don't know, she was up here a while ago. And he's like, oh, okay. He goes, Sky Jumper. Sky Jumper's like, yes, sir. She appears behind Toothless, like, yes, sir. And he's like, this is my friend Astrid. You attack, you are banned from the pack. And that goes for everyone. They all gulp. Izuku relays this through alpha magic. I don't know. I'm tired. What time is it? Where'd I throw my watch? I'm not gonna check my phone, because I don't want to blind you guys, which I probably have already. Oh well. Can't find it. Oh, it's up there. Jesus, it's 2 a.m. Okay. Well, that's where I'm going to be ending this part off. If you want a part 2, tell me in the comments. I'm sorry that I was all over the place for this. It is 2 a.m. I am tired. This is the only time I'm going to be able to make a video today, or tomorrow, or next week, or next month, probably. Again, I don't know.